My name is Maya, and welcome to the episode 21 of the Tinks knitting podcast, where I share all my thoughts, process, and other random stuff about all things fiber related, but mostly knitting. So today is the 27th of April 2024, and I'm coming to you from the French-speaking part of Switzerland, where I live with my gecko. You can find me on Instagram as tinks, and you can find links of everything I talk about now in the description box below, as well as my measurements if you are interested. So today the program is I have 2 finished objects and 2 whips, no acquisitions, and I will do an update on my knitting journal, this guy, and I wanted to share a little exciting thing that I wanted to share for a while, but I never found the time. So it's about this, which is... I have to sneeze. Ugh. Ugh. Yeah, whatever. It's about this. You will see what it is at the end. So that's it for today. And I also have a little bit of climbing footage, but that will also be at the end. Anyway, let's get started. So the 2 finished objects I have, the first one is on me, and it is this cami sole tank top thing, which is finally finished, even though it's so small. So basically what this is, it's a self-drafted thing. I basically have this store-bought camisole. It's a very floaty one, so this is it upside down, but you get the idea. The bottom is much larger than the top, and it's flaring out in a nice way. It's very drapey and I really like it, and I just wanted to reproduce it in knitting. And I had some leftovers, so this is Noro Kakigore in the colorway Inazawa, and I had like 70 grams left, and I figured I can make a garment with that. So I could, but yeah, obviously I had to add something. But yeah, so I talked about this one in the latest episode, and I had already ripped out once because I didn't have enough yarn. So I tried to do the increases. It's knit top down. I tried to do the increases to get the same shape as this one, and maybe I'll insert footage of me wearing it, by the way, so that you can see how it sits. But I didn't have enough yarn, of course. I had only 70 grams. So I had to rip back, and it's knit, as I said, from the top down, so you need the triangles from the front and the back, and then you join it around. And I also had too many stitches to begin with. And the straps were too short. So yeah, but I had to redo almost everything. But I started over, and I was pretty sure I was on track and it would be fine. But while I was editing the latest episode, I finished it, and then I tried it on when I was done, and it was too short, and since it was too short, it was a little bit too wide. I could get away with something super wide if it was very long and I could tuck it inside my skirt, which is not the case here, by the way, but I wanted it to go like down here, but of course I couldn't because I had only 70 grams. So I had to rip back everything, and since I was short on yarn, I wanted to save on the width so that I could get more length. So I also ripped back the back triangles because they were bigger, because on this one, for some reason, the back triangles, it's gonna be easier to see if I show it upside down again. The back triangles are bigger. This is a little bit exaggerated, but you get the idea. But since I was short on yarn, and it was too big, and I didn't want it to rip back all of the triangles I had made, I only frogged the last rows of the back triangles so that they would be the same as the fronts. And then I joined it around without doing any casting on stitches under the arms. And that saved me, I think, 25 stitches. Yeah, I think. So a lot. And just for fun, I calculated how many rows that allowed me to knit with the saved yarn. and it was 6 rows, which is good but not enough. So I had to find a solution. First I just dropped the increases on the body so that I could get the most length I could, and I decided to go inside my scrap bin. It's not a bin, it's like just a jar. I don't have a lot of scraps, and I didn't have really high hopes because this is a very like variegated yarn. It has green, purple and black, so it's kind of difficult to find a match because the shades are so weird that if I picked a green for the stripe it would look weird. If I picked a magenta also, I mean, I just couldn't find anything. And then suddenly I found this one, which is also variegated. It's a purple, white and black variegated, and it worked. I was very surprised. So yeah, I held that one double. It's a fingering weight scrap and it worked out perfectly. But maybe you can tell that I had to stop the stripe in the middle here. This is like 6 row and this is 5 because I didn't have enough to finish the row. Yeah. But you can't really tell, so I mean, unless I say it, I think you can't really tell, so it's okay. It's fine. Yeah, so I had the little bit of scrap. It was like 7 grams, and then I found an old swatch, a really tiny swatch that was 2 grams, so I frogged that also and added it in. So yeah, I really used everything I could, and I did a folded hem here, and for the inside I also used another yarn, which is also a leftover. It's this. It's a sock yarn by Regia. It's a silk 4-ply, I think, and I mean, maybe it could have worked for the stripe, but I didn't think about it at the time because it was not in my scrap bin, so scrap jar. So yeah, whatever, it was too late anyway. And I also did some decreases actually instead of increases, so we are very far from the initial plan. Because I wanted to save fabric again, and since I couldn't get the flaring out look, I preferred tapered, I mean not tapered, but I preferred a fitted look. And it's not really fitted, but at least it's not flaring out. And the decreases are actually on the back, so let me show you. They are here along the back. They are centered double decreases, and you can't really tell because they're on the back. But I think it helps with the shape, and you can maybe tell this is going out a bit. And the thing is, the first time I finished it, so I did the folded hem, I sewed down the stitches and I blocked it, and it was flaring out like crazy. It can happen with the folded hems because you have a double thickness suddenly, and so it just pushes the fabric out. It's just how it is, and you can either go down a needle size for the hem or decrease stitches, and I usually do both. But it just wasn't working. It was not enough. So I read back, and that's when I used this one, which is a fingering weight held single for the inside of the hem. But I really didn't want it to flare out even with that, so I added an elastic, a small elastic thread inside this one. But I didn't want it to cinch in, I just wanted to avoid it flaring out. But I went a little too far in the elastic tightness, so it's still cinching in a little bit, ever so slightly. But yeah, I can still take the elastic off and add another one that's a little bit bigger. But actually, I'm not sure I'm mad about it, because now it kind of looks like when I'm wearing this one inside my skirt, it gives the like fluffy look. And it's doing the same with the elastic, so maybe it's good actually. I'm not sure, but yeah, it takes only 5 minutes to do, so I can still change my mind later and change the elastic if I ever want to. But for now, I think it looks fine. So yeah, that's it. It's finally done. I had to redo this thing like In total, I think 4 times, because I messed up on the stripe. The first time I put it way too high, so I had to rip back everything and redo the stripe lower. So yeah, it was a journey. I could have just need to swatch, blocked it and do some calculations, but where's the fun in that? Yeah. So that leaves me with absolutely not the camisole I wanted, because it's not even close to this shape. And so I need to knit another one with enough yarn this time. And I think I will just use a fingering so that I actually can get a better drape than a DK. I could have also just used the bigger needle. I used the 4.5, and I could have gone up to 5, I think, but it's fine, it's okay, it works, and I can wear it. And I'm wearing it with a shirt for the video, but yeah, it's absolutely not bra friendly, but I never wear bra, so I don't care. And yeah, for summer I think it will be just perfect. I'm super pleased, even though it was not the initial plan. I think I ended up with something pretty nice. So yeah, it's a win in the end. And I finished up not 1, but 2 scraps, so yes! Anyway, so that's it for my first finished object. Where is my sleeve? Okay, sorry. So the second finished object is socks. And here they are. They look huge because they are not for me. They are socks I need for my boyfriend's birthday, which is in 2 days, so I finished them in time. And they are almost matching, but not exactly, maybe you can tell here. It's a little bit off. But he doesn't care and I don't either, so it's fine. However, there is one big issue with them, is that I didn't use the correct needle size. I should have knit them on 2.25, which is what I always use for socks, but for some reason I had a brain fart and I used 2.5 and they are too big. I noticed only when I finished the first sock. And I didn't want it to rip back everything because I was getting tight on the deadline and I just didn't want to. So I tried it on my boyfriend's foot, and I mean, I did again the thing where I just took his feet on my lap and I used a cushion to hide his side so that he wouldn't see the color of the sock at least. And I tried it on his foot and I was like, it's a little bit too big. And I asked him, do you have an opinion on socks that are slightly bit baggy? And he was like, why would I have an opinion on socks? Which is a good question, because I do, but I get that some people don't. And so the good news is that he doesn't really care if his socks are not perfectly fitted. So they are just a little bit too big everywhere. So at least it's consistent, but yeah. But it's fine, I don't think he will mind. So yeah, what I didn't say is that this yarn is, this is the leftover. It's a self-striping yarn from Fröhlich Wolle, and I mean self-striping, it has a motif, and it has the reinforcement spools with it, so this is what I have left over. I'm not showing you the correct side, which also has the motif in it, and I have less of this one because I lost it, but I don't know where it is. But for the first sock, I wanted to have the motif on the reinforcement thread match the striping motif on the actual sock. So when I got to the toe, I unwound a little bit of it so that I would get to the same motif. Which is why I have left, but I just... oh, it's there! Yeah, so I just took this off so that I could start at the correct point. But for the second sock, when I started the heel, I was already absolutely not in the correct spot, so I have a little bit of marling happening. So I didn't bother for the toe, and actually the toe worked, so good. But then I have a little bit more left here. So yeah, they are kind of matchy, and there is one heel that's marred and the other one is not, but it's a sock. Nobody cares. And certainly not my boyfriend, so it's fine. Yeah, so I'm just very happy I'm done, and I hope he likes them. And yeah, that's it. Just a pair of socks. And I used fish lips kiss heel, by the way. I did increases before the heel, there. And I mentioned that in the latest episode, but I don't do gussets after the heels. I do gradual decreases along the foot, because that's how a foot is shaped. And I used 80 grams total of everything. I don't know the proportion of it, but whatever. So yeah, that's it for my second finished object. And now my whips. So the first one is very big baby boy. And yeah, so I will put it on so that I can simulate the fact that it's done, but it's absolutely not done. But yeah, you will see. Ta-da! Wow, it looks like I have a finished jacket. Yeah, it looks super cool. No, it's not. But it looks so amazing. I'm just so pleased. Everything is just falling into place. I have my pocket here. I'm in the middle of the pocket actually, but yeah, you get the idea. And the sleeve and everything is just coming together. I lost the ball. It's just coming together so nicely. I'm just so excited about this project. But yeah, I was hoping I could finish it today, I mean for this episode, but of course it didn't happen for a few reasons. The first one being that I was late on my Hexi colorwork blanket, which is a huge long-term project, and I just wanted to catch up, so I had to work on that for a while. And I had to redo this thing 4 times, so it took me a while too. And a surprise cast-on jumped on my needle, which I'm going to show you after this. But yeah, so I couldn't really make a lot of progress, but I still finished the sleeve. I took a decision for the color of the cuff. I did this super cool detail. I did the hem also. I also took a decision on that. And it's very hard to tell, but actually there is a red stripe and a blue stripe. I did the edging of the pocket here, and I did the lining. No, I did the lining once, but I had to look back because it was too small. I had sewed it down and everything, but it was too small, so I had to unsew it and redo it. Yeah. So the plan is to do the other sleeve in blue. So this is actually a pretty good match of the blue I'm planning, so it's looking great. It will be like this. So red, blue, yay! And with a zipper and the collar, and yeah, but I obviously didn't have the time to do all of that. But it's looking just amazing. I mean, look at that! Wow! This is so cool! Yeah, sorry, I'm super excited about this one. Actually, it was funny because when I finished the sleeve and I put it on, and my boyfriend was watching me, and his reaction was just so funny. He looked at me, and literally this is what he did. Oh, it's so cool! It looks like one of those American bomber style jackets! I want the same! Yeah, maybe. I don't know if I will have the courage to knit this one twice, but I understand. It's super cool. I mean, he would look absolutely great in that, but yeah. I think I would need to knit like a size 5 or 6 for him, because he has so broad shoulders. Yeah, we will see when I finish this one. Yeah, so by the way, this is knit. I'm knitting size 3, and the pattern is is the Teddy Zip by Joanne Ho. And I am obviously not knitting it in boucle, which is the original design intent. I am using Nutilen, held quadruple for the body and held double with Filcolana Peruvian Highland wool for the sleeves. So this is what I have left of the red. I used 2 and a 3/4, and I use this one for the stripe here, and I'm gonna use it for the other sleeve. And for the body, I'm using this charcoal black, and that's it. This is my swatch, by the way, so you can see I changed the color, but the idea is the same. So yeah, and I'm using 6.5 millimeters for the body and sleeve, and I'm changing things up for the ribbings because you're supposed to, I mean, the pattern is designed for you to hold a fluffy alpaca boucle plus a worsted weight together, and for the ribbings you're supposed to hold the worsted weight single. But I figured that would be a little bit too thin for me, so I'm using the worsted held double, and I'm using bigger needles for that. And I think the chunky look looks great, especially here. I like it, but what I didn't think about is that my hips are huge, so I'm having trouble closing it. So I think, yeah, it's a little bit stretched out here. So I think either I will have to wear it super high, like this is comfortable, but then it's bunching up here, or I cannot close it. Yeah. I shouldn't really wear it closed anyway, because all the jackets I own that are kind of this style I never close, so should be fine. Anyway, so that's where I'm at. As I mentioned, I did quite some modifications. Did I mention that? I don't know. Anyway, I did quite some modifications. So the one I'm gonna mention today is the sleeve. So you're supposed to knit the sleeve straight until like here, and then do rapid decreases. And the cuff is designed to be a little bit bigger, but I changed to do gradual decreases along the whole sleeve, if you can maybe tell by my markers. And my cuff is a slightly bit smaller. I did a lot of modifications on the upper back, but I'm not gonna tell them again. And for now, that's it. Oh no, I completely changed the sleeve cap also. You're supposed to knit like a tiny sleeve cap like this, which goes only to this part, like this. But then in the pattern you get this effect, like this bump, which I really don't like. So I did the sleeve cap until all the way down, so I have a very deep sleeve cap like this. And wow, look at this fit! It's so perfect! So yeah, that's another modification. And for now, that's it. I also mentioned that the pattern is kind of inconsistent in the writing style. Not that it's wrong, but sometimes the instructions kind of are weird. And it's still the case. I'm still finding weird stuff. Like, for example, there is an instruction for the zipper lining, because this will have a zipper in here, and you're supposed to knit a zipper lining that will go there, and you are going to sandwich the zipper between. And there is one instruction where it tells you to pick up here and knit the zipper lining, and another instruction where it tells you to cast on, knit the zipper lining, and then sew it down. It's not problematic, but it's annoying. So yeah, it's consistent in its inconsistencies, I guess, but it's still a super great pattern. I mean, look at this. This is so immensely cool. So yeah, I still recommend the pattern, but it's not the most precise I have seen. So yeah, that's it for my biggest whip. I'm super excited about it. I cannot wait for it to be finished. And I am still at the stage where every morning when I leave my home, the only thing I can think about is I want my jacket to be done. I want to wear it so bad. So I really hope for next time it will be done. Shouldn't be too long. Except as I expected, the finishing touches are so annoying to do. I hate them. I knew it. I have always hated this kind of thing, like sewing stuff down and knitting small parts of things and folding them, and I hate it. So yeah, I still have the 2 zipper linings and the other pocket to do. But I'm pretty sure I shouldn't leave that for the end, because then I will never do it. I would be capable of just throwing this in the corner and never touch it again. So I need to leave the best part for the end, which is for me the sleeve. Or maybe the collar. So I will need to save this one, either of the two, for the last part. Otherwise I'm not gonna do it. I know myself. Yeah, so this is it for this one. I like it so much. I'm super I'm super proud. And yeah, so excited. Anyway, I'm overheating now, so let's get to the next work in progress, which is much smaller. And it's the one that jumped on my needles unexpectedly. And it is the famous emotional support chicken. I jumped on the bandwagon and I am in the middle of a row. So here's my chicken. This is the wrong side, but yeah, here's my chicken with its tail. That's, oh my god. Come on. Yeah, there we go. The chicken is not chickening for today, but maybe I should just finish the row. No, you get the idea. Here's my chicken. Sorry. Yeah, so I jumped on that bandwagon because I'm eating fluff. My godson turned 1 last week, and I knew I wanted to knit something for him, but I didn't have any inspiration. And in those kind of cases, I don't push it, I just wait for an idea to come. And the idea came, but a little bit too late. So obviously the chicken is not done and he has already turned 1, but I don't think either him or his mom will care, so it's fine. So yeah, I'm just knitting slowly on this, and I have to say the pattern is fun to make, but it's definitely not the best experience to read. I mean, it's a page 4 pattern, which is fine, but it's kind of expensive for something this small, and that has only one size, and that is based on an existing pattern, so the person that wrote it didn't even invented it by herself. So I think it's kind of overpriced, especially considering the fact that the instructions are kind of unclear. So yeah, I did do a mistake for the first part because I didn't understand the writing style correctly, and I was like, I'm not ripping back for the tail of a chicken. So I did rip back a small bit, but not everything. But yeah, so now it's a little bit wrong, and I have some increases happening here, and yeah, but it's fine. It's for a child. He's 1 year old, and I'm not even sure this is going to survive him growing up, so it doesn't matter. It's fine. Yeah, so the yarn I'm using, I'm super happy that I'm using only leftovers. That was like super deep old stash, like the deeper stash I have. So this one, the blue, is Ice Yarns, Superwash Merino. It's a worsted weight yarn, and this is like some of the first yarns I have ever bought back at the beginning of my knitting journey, when it wasn't even a knitting journey, it was a crochet journey. Like 4 years ago, yeah, I think. And this was just laying around because it's soft. I mean, for the price, Ice Yarns is like a super cheap yarn brand, and obviously it is cheap probably because they have some pretty bad and unsustainable practices, so I don't really recommend them. But for the price, it's actually a pretty nice yarn. But yeah, I just didn't want to knit that in a garment against my skin, because I'm pretty sure it would be itchy. I mean, it's absolutely not when I touch it with my hands, but I just know myself now, and I know that even if something is soft for my hands, it's not necessarily going to be for my body. So yeah, it was just laying around, and I didn't know what to do with it. So it's perfect for a chicken! Yay! And I also have quite a lot, I mean a few of those, which are Lang Yarns Merino 70, and this is basically the most available yarn ever in Switzerland. This is in every yarn or big store in the country, like it is everywhere. So it was the first one I started with because it's so easy to shop, and so I have a lot of random small bowls like this left over in completely random colors, and it was perfect for the accent. And it's going pretty well with the blue, I think. So I'm gonna have a blue chicken. Why not? And for the beak, I mean the, how do you call that? The wattle? Waddle? The thing that's red around the face of the chicken. I'm going to use, this is the same yarn as this one. Wait, where it is? It's the same yarn as this one, but it's just in red, and I have frogged another project in that one, so that's why it's in this form. So, perfect! I have everything. I mean, I don't have the yellow for the beak, but I think I can get away with doing it in beige. Probably. So, I'm not gonna think too much on that. And yeah, so that's the plan. So this will be finished in no time, obviously, and I know myself, and I'm pretty sure I will finish all the pieces, and then I will leave that in the corner for a few weeks because I don't want to seam it up. I hope I won't, but there's a chance I might do that. It would be totally my style. So yeah, I hope this will be finished in the next episode, but there's a chance it won't. Because since I'm already late on the date anyway, a little bit more or a little bit less doesn't really matter. Yes, it does, but yeah, I'm chaos. So yeah, that's it for my second work in progress. I really like it. And my boyfriend sees me knitting on it, and the other day he was like, "Can I get a chicken too?" Okay, you can get a chicken if you want. Maybe I should have knit a chicken instead of socks for him. Yeah, so, and I have enough leftovers to do a second one, I think, so maybe. We will see. Anyway, so that's it for the knitting for today. So I wanted to share about my knitting journal. So this guy, this is a Hobonichi Teiko from last year, but since I'm not using the dates in it, like those spread, I don't really care the year it's from, so let me show you. The first thing I can show you is the month we are currently in. I'm doing a monthly spread planning thing, very similar to the one that Nidhi Daddy is doing. It is completely inspired by her, by the way. So this is the month of April we are currently finishing. I'll probably leave the planner on while I talk about it, but yeah, basically I'm doing, on the first part I'm doing the plans for the month, and then I'm dividing each week and what I'm planning to knit during the week. It's not really useful for me to plan because I don't really stick to plans anyway. Life happens, and then I get late on some projects, and then some other hop on the needles, and then I finish some early, so yeah, it's kind of not really useful, but it's very satisfying, so I still like to do it. So yeah, for this month I wanted to do the teddy tip. The cami in Noro is the cami I am wearing now. Skater skirt is the skirt, if you probably know which one I'm talking about if you've ever been here for the past episodes. And the socks are the socks I just showed you. Macrame is a project I would like to make, but I cannot find the time. Pot holders, I finished them and showed them in the latest episode, and the emotional support chicken is the one I just showed you. So you can see I kind of, it looks like I stuck to my plans, but actually I didn't, because there is a lot of masking tape in there where I just change things up. Yeah, but for the end of the month, basically what's happening now is that I wanted to cast on the skirt earlier. I wanted to cast it on as soon as I finished this camisole, but since I finished it so late, I couldn't cast on. And the emotional support chicken took in, so I just couldn't. So I'm leaving the skirt for next month. And for next week, I mean for this week, I still have a hexie for my colorwork blanket to do. I want to progress on my teddy tip, and I think that will be it for this weekend. And next week we have only 2 days in April, so I'm probably not, but I would like to cast on the next hexie for my colorwork blanket and progress on my emotional support chicken. So that's it for this month, and let's take a look at the next one. So in this one, I went pretty wild with the stickers because May is flowers, it's spring, it's colors, so I just took the most colorful stickers I had, and this is what it's looking like. So it's kind of obnoxious, but I love it so much. I find it so cute. So yeah. This is the spread. So for the month of May, the skirt is back, and I really hope I can make it this time. I want to do the mini mock neck by Jessie May since so long, and I really want to do it this month. The summer month is coming. I really need to get on with the summer knits because it's actually my favorite thing to knit. So yeah, there's that. Noro cami. Actually, this cami doesn't really have a name, but I'm calling it the Noro cami because it sounds great and it's easy to say and write. And this is Noro yarn, so there's that. In lino, which is yarn I bought at the Swiss Yarn Festival last month, and I want to knit this one so that I can have a real floaty cami in this shape. And I need to finish the chicken, and I really want to make the macrame thing. I hope I will. The thing is, at the end of this month I'm gonna be on holiday, so that's why I decided to plan super easy stockinette knits for this month. So the skirt is just stockinette in the round, the cami is also with increases but stockinette in the round, and the mini mock neck, once I'm done with the shaping on the yoke, same, only stockinette. So I think it should be good for the holidays at the end. So I can detail my plans. So for the first week, I mean, each week I have the hexie for my colorwork blanket. I want to work on the teddy zip. I don't think I will be able to finish it, and I want to finish the chicken. The week after, I want to finish the teddy zip for real. And once I'm done, I want to cast on the mini mock neck. It will be my only work in progress, probably, so I'm pretty sure I can finish that in a week. So the week after, I'm planning to finish that one and cast on the skirt. Then I will just have to knit on the skirts, and I want to cast on the camisole, this one, just before going on holidays, which will be Friday, the last Friday of the month, so that I have 2 ongoing simple projects during holidays, and it should be perfect, I hope. So yeah, that's the plans for the month of May, and I can't wait. I'm just so fulfilled and so happy about all my knitting plans and knitting projects this month, this year, every time. I just love knitting. I'm so excited. So yeah, anyway, that's the future plans. The last thing I wanted to share is the knit cream that I mentioned at the beginning. Here it is. Yeah, there. So this is made by a friend of mine that lives somewhere in the countryside of Switzerland. And she's doing homemade soaps and other, how do you call that? Cosmetics? Using ingredients from her garden or just around her in general. So it's homemade, everything is natural ingredients, and and all the recipes and designs are hers, so it's really her work, and I just really love what she does. I used to use her soaps for a while, and they're just so great and so unique, and I'm just so happy to support a friend that's doing something so mindful and using natural ingredients. So the other day I was talking with Yule from Woolen Twine, because she asked for recommendations for a cream that was in a bar form, like a lotion bar thing, because she wanted to be able to apply cream on the back of her hands, because that's where she gets the most creaks and dry skin because of all the dyeing and manipulating of hot water she does for the dyeing. And the one she used to use was out of business, so she was just asking for recommendations. And I just said, hey, I have a friend who does natural cosmetics, so maybe she can try something out. Yulia was so excited, she was so cute. So I asked my friend, maybe you can try something, and she did. Like in a week she did one. And she sent it to me. That was a few months ago already. And I've been trying it out, and she asked me what scent I wanted, and my favorite soap of her was the honey. So I asked her to do honey cream. So this one became the knit cream honey, and her name is, I mean, her brand's name is Carmater. That's how you say it in French, but I guess in English it would be like Karma Terre. It's Carmater. So yeah, you can maybe check her out on Instagram. She does sell her soaps and everything online. And yeah, it's a super small business. I just really love what she does, and I'm still testing it out for now. I did do some feedback on this one, so the second batch, probably she did two, one for her and one for me. So the second batch is going to be a bit different, but yeah, I just really like it. This is what it looks like. So you take the lid off and you turn this little thingy to get the lotion out, and you just apply it on the back of your hand like this, so that you don't have cream like inside your hands, so that when you manipulate yarn or knit, you don't get anything on the yarn itself, and everything is covering your back, which is where you get the most dry hands most of the time. So it's great. Now my hands are clean, I can touch my yarn, but my hands are also protected. And it smells so good! Yeah. I love it. So yeah, it's a funny one. I don't think it's available for purchase yet, but it will be probably for next winter. So yeah, it's just a funny thing we are doing with a friend of mine, and Yule is super excited about it. She's just so cute. I love chatting with her. So yeah, that's it for this funny little thing, and I think that's everything for today. Yes, it is. So for life, in Switzerland it has been just as crazy weather as in the rest of Europe. So we have also been getting these super weird and very short hailstorms where like during 5 minutes it hails like crazy. But since we are much down south than like Germany or England or places like that, actually it's a little bit warmer, so the hailstorms are super weird because the hail things are so small that they are behaving like dust. So when there is a lot of wind, actually the hail gets lifted up, so you can get hail down from the bottom. It's super weird. And yeah, there was a lot of strong winds during the past weeks, so it was just the weirdest time. Like, it was raining but from below, and then hailing, and then kind of snowing, but we weren't really sure. Yeah, it was just so weird. But now it's finished. It's over. The weather is done being weird. Now it is finally spring, which is my favorite time of the year, so I'm super excited about that too. And yeah, it's just been great for one day, because before that it was still snowing. Yeah. And I've still been climbing, but not really outside because of the weather, obviously. But oh, this time I managed to take 2 videos of me bouldering inside. So the first one is probably not the most fun to watch because it's a slab, so I'm just doing super slow moves, technical stuff where I just need to stay balanced on the wall, so it's not really impressive, but it was pretty hard, let me tell you. So yeah, that's the first one, and I'm gonna have to cut it because otherwise you're gonna get bored. So if you see cuts in that video, it's for that. And the second one is a little bit funnier, because actually, so as I mentioned, my boyfriend is a climbing route setter, so he's the one who actually puts the holes on the wall. He's one of the persons that does that. And sometimes he will do boulders for me. This one, so I'm climbing on the blue holes, you will see. But they are really small, so it's hard to see actually, but yeah. He said to me, "Oh, I did a boulder for you, it's really your style, it's super technical and like balance and everything." And I tried it, and it was so much more like powerful than he said. Like the beginning, you are hanging on your arms like this, and you have to like swipe your feet from one side to the other, which in itself is not hard if you have good holes in your hands, but the problem is you are like 50 centimeters above the ground, So you cannot really just like swing your legs like this because the ground is here. So you need to swing, fold your leg, and then unfold them and swing again. And this is super difficult to do. Like you need the core strength, absolutely have a huge core strength to actually hold your legs like that and then push them again away. So it was just so hard, impossible to do. I tried it a lot of times, but I actually hurt my shoulder doing it. So I had to find another way, which I did. So what you can see in the video is actually me passing my legs over my head, because for me, I'm super flexible, so for me it's much easier to do that, because that way I don't have to lift my legs because they are on top of me, so they are just resting on the wall. So yeah, it's a funny one. And the second part is actually very suited for my style, so this is much easier for me. And this is what he meant when he said he put a border for me, but he kind of forgot about the first part, so it's just funny. Yeah, so that's the two footages I have for you, and that's it for today. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope you had a great time. I hope you will be back for the next one, maybe, so you can subscribe if you don't want to miss it. You can of course leave me a like, and as always, I always love to read your comments, so don't hesitate to leave one. If you have something nice or not to say, I also can take critiques. Yeah, anyway. So I hope you have a good day or a good night, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!